Hello, good morning, and welcome to a Nigerian Market Today. Nigerian Market is an advocacy channel that is always on the burner talking about economy and how we can grow and feed our nation and be self-sufficient, thereby creating jobs, opportunity, making investment inward and helping to finance our budget without borrowing. That is our focus here in the platform. We always want to see how we can be self-sufficient. And the platform is an advocacy program that is talking more on economy. And today, the situation of economy in our nation is no longer news to everyone. It's fragile. And when we mean fragile, is anything can happen to it. And by so doing, we should understand that we need to put our hands together to make sure that we give focus to this economy and let it stand so that at the end, our nation can continue to grow economically. My name is Sleta Udam, and with me in the studio this morning is my beloved Edie. Before I even introduce you, first, you're on a black, and in our African nature, when someone put on black, it signifies so many things. But then I understand we must be losing someone that is dear to us, and that's why you're on black. So I want to welcome you. Despite that you're in the studio this morning, it's good that we put the past, but continue to ask God to take solace in whatever that's happened. You're welcome this morning, Sachimene.
Well, thank you, viewers, for always being with us. I know that today is going to be loaded because we'll be talking to ourselves as Nigerians. Well, for black, yes, black can be fashion, but sometimes we wear it just to signify when we lose
Very dear
loved
one.
ones. Yes, it shows, like I lost a wonderful um, family member, a mom, and everything to me, an auntie that is more than a mother to me. And that the shock is still there, but we have, just like everybody will say, you take solace in gold. We have taken solace in gold and pray that God receive her soul. You know, we like to see again when we're in heaven, and so we'll meet again in heaven as and they will remember, mommy, it's nice seeing you here again and all
Really.
that. So that's our soul.
But remember, when in heaven, there's no sister, there's no mommy, there's no brother. You
No, but at least
understand?
we will embrace ourselves.
We'll
So
be
we'll
like
definitely
like
like yes, we will
angels.
embrace ourselves. Angels recognize themselves.
All right. Thank you very much, viewers. You're welcome once again. We're talking Nigerian market. Nigerian market is an online program that is actually talking about advocacy on how we can improve on ourselves as a person, as a nation, and what have you. So we're talking today, once again, we're going to see how we're going to manage the EMBER month. This period is a very loaded period with a lot of demand. And so we want to encourage us that will be on how we can manage the EMBER month. And the EMBER month, it comes with a lot of responsibility. And the platform here, we talk about economy, how we can be able to, do things for ourselves. But when we have a fragile, economy that is hitting hard, how do you survive? How do you survive? But there's hope. We must continue to give hope to the hopeless. And that is why the platform is there this morning. So I would like us to just discuss on issues that are affecting the market and how it relates to how you can be able to meet up your basic need and your basic plan for the year. Everyone is talking about December is coming. You have a plan and you want to see whether that plan will end well and all that. So how do you first, run around to figure that under this fragile economy that is affecting everyone, including the government itself? So I think our discussion should border on this and how does it actually affect you first. So from your own point of view, what are you actually feeling as regards to the economy right now?
Well, yeah, you use the right word, fragile, and fragile is something very delicate, and we're all feeling the the hardship is real. Okay, there's no, I don't know that person in Nigeria today, who said no. I don't even know that. I don't remember if I'm in Nigeria. I don't know. Well, those who in one corner trying to amass for them, but
Yeah.
can just say that. But I can say from friends, from loved ones, family members, and all that. Yeah, Nigerians are under pressure, and that's why I think that this topic, I feel is up for the season, how to manage. If you listen to radio programs, this is for the first time or so, I'm beginning to hear more of work, emotional, how to manage emotional stress, work pressures, and all that. The health, is also coming strong, to advocate on how people can just relax their mind.
Mental health.
Yes, the mental health. So because the pressure is mounting, it's really, really mounting on people. All right, but Ember month is also a unique month. Okay, I think what we need to just do in this on the platform is to let people really understand that, you see, sometimes what you cannot control, it's just beyond you, and just let it go. All right, so as the Ember month is coming, all we need to do is that let people begin to just learn how to adjust. Okay, back to our fragile economy, we will plead that Nigerians, the government, especially those in government, should look at those things that are still adding pressure on the fragile economy. Yes, everybody are asking people to manage. You are not managing. That's hypocrisy. All right, so government should look into how do we beef up the security in Nigeria, because that is adding more pressure. This is while Labor Month is supposed to be also a harvest season.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, it's harvest season, but how many farmers can go to the farm to harvest? And if they don't harvest, how do we see the food for the Ember month? And it's also a storage period. You harvest to install so that next year can go well. So these things, if government is not doing, everything, we heard everything is under control. Well, we don't know how controlled they are, but government need to do everything, you understand, so that people can go to their farm, those that have managed to harvest, and then so that we can see food to eat. Food sufficiency is critical.
It's actually critical.
And then, of course, the pockets of protest here and there, because each time for us on Nigerian market as an advocacy program, we're looking at the effect on the economy.
Yeah.
So whatever human rights correct, we all have right to protest. That one, no government can stop it. Any government that wants to stop people, it's just on its own, because you cannot stop people from their fundamental human rights. They have to express it. In fact, if you are in government, I think most of these things will expose the weakness of either you or those sycophants around you, because they'll come to tell you, paint the stories. But a good leader should be able to listen to criticism, because most of those criticisms bring out the best, in the system. So, but we on the Nigerian market, we're looking at the effect. Everything you do, what is the effect on our economy? Whatever you do that will add more pressure on our economy is our concern. All right. So yesterday, the EndSARS remembrance
anniversary that took place yesterday.
Yeah, that took place yesterday. I can tell you, Lagos is the commercial nerve, and Lekki for that matter, and some other parts of it will have also been stressed yesterday. Businesses cannot flow, and time waits for nobody. That time, maybe for that 24 hours of yesterday, billions have been lost.
Of course.
And that billions, if it's circulated, will have helped to, boost the economy. Now, everything that government will do to control security and whatever will lead to strike or protest, government should try and avoid it, because those things are adding pressures. They're adding pressure to the fragile economy.
All right, thank you very much. Adding pressure to the fragile economy, but I also want to pick up some of the highlights you mentioned, which is actually Our topic this morning, we're talking about management, managing the economy and managing ourselves. I want to let us understand that when you're managing, you not only manage the economy of a nation, you can also manage your own economy as a person. So I like to throw more light on individual management of economy.
Yeah.
And you see, you mentioned things that you can control and things you cannot control. Yeah. Those are the things, those are the indices that can help you manage whatever situation you find yourself. Now we're talking about a fragile economy as affect our pocket. Our income is quite low. And for instance, as we said, EMBER comes with a lot of responsibility, a lot of needs, a lot of plans to be enrolled. But one of the major things we'll see this EMBER is wedding ceremonies. People are bound to wed. That's a joy thing, a joyful thing. People have already planned over the year, we're going to wed this year. They've made all the arrangements for the wedding is coming up. So this pressure is going to be on the couples and all those who are going to be part of that. Those are the pressures we're going to see how we're going to help our listeners out there to listen and watch and manage the situation. Because one, if you don't manage that pressure, it will now fall back on you. At the end, mental health, you don't think well. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you get married, you have pressure on the house, the joy of the marriage will not be there.
As if marriage is a cause.
All right. So now we're looking at things you can control and things you cannot control to enable you, keep your marriage ceremony or after marriage in a good course. Yes, we are planning. What happens where people have pressure is that they have looked at a brother or a friend or a neighbor's wedding. It was, wow, very wonderful. And you peg your wedding to be like that person's wedding. And maybe that wedding it took place last year. The things of last year is different from now. And so those are the things you now begin to look at. Now, we are talking about fragile economy. You cannot control the market forces now. That is outside your control. So if you're making a budget of 100 persons to attend your wedding, just like you saw other persons or a 1,000 attendants, you're making a budget. You don't know what you cannot control. You don't know what you can control. You should know what you can control and what you cannot control. You cannot control the market force of things and items that you're going to use to enable you accomplish the wedding. So what you do is that those ones are left for the market force. But the ones you can control is what I want to concentrate on. For instance, if you assume you are planning for 100 attendants, for instance, and you're making food for 100 persons to attend your wedding, that is under your control. You sit down with your couples. Man, this wedding, we need to cut it. Yeah, spouse. We need to cut it down. We may not do the enlarged kind of. We may just do courtship. There's this kind of wedding. You go in the morning, call the priest, you understand, to bless your wedding. Do you understand? That is under your control because of the fear of things that you cannot control in the market. That will help you. But I know Nigerians, we always like to do that flamboyant ceremony. But you see, the means is not there. So for every wise person, I'm just giving that as an instance, it can be applicable to other projects that you want to do. Because of this idea of you want to compare yourself with other persons. You don't know what the means of the other person is. So you know yourself, you know your income, you know how fragile the economy is here. So it is always good to cut our code according to our cloth. And that will help us to be able to manage our resources under this, fragile economy that we're looking at. You can apply that to other projects. For instance, you decide to say you want to put a building, you put up your resources, but then look at the cost of things. I know things are not coming down. You cut it at the level, okay, I'm not going to take it up to a lintel level. That's what I plan. You can just lay the foundation and now channel the money to other investments so that you can get more than only taking all the money to go and build it up so that you impress people that you've raised your building from foundation level to a lintel level. That's pressure. At the end of the day, you come back, you don't have an investment. So those are the management techniques we're going to, talk about more. If other things you're listening to us, you have other projects you want to actually look at this month, please, we are saying that to enable you be able to, have a mental rest after you have executed such a project, you need to cut your plan according to the resources, depending on the fragile economy that is affecting even the country himself. Cannot be able to, meet up. You remember the last budget? I don't know whether we got up to 75%.
No, the Nigerian budget has never gone to 50% implementation. It's a long time.
Okay, then how much less? So that
I think one problem Africans, that's why we need to concentrate on this um, managing. There's nothing that says you don't have money to kill chicken, that you must eat chicken.
Chicken by
No,
all
no, no,
means.
it's not. There's no law that binds you that you must kill chicken. Oh, that on Christmas Day it must be rice, or you must travel. See, these are where people are adding pressure
Pressure,
on
pressure,
themselves.
pressure.
Yes, there's nothing that compels that. Oh, Mr. Slater, you have been traveling. Some persons, the funny part of it that some persons are just traveling to go and greet somebody. No, that's what I can't even imagine. Our roads are not safe. Apart from the insecurity, the potholes on the road, the damage that will cause to you, only to go and see somebody who is in Lagos, or oh, this my brother who I've not seen since how many years. He has been in north, me I'm in the south, or he's in America, he's coming and all that. Brother, 100 naira data can help you do that.
Of course, this
100
thing
naira data,
now
yes, video calls.
technology has even made things easier.
Exactly.
We can buy a video. If the person doesn't even have the money, you can send a 1,000 naira to him to buy data.
Just buy
And
data.
you talk and look at
If he
yourself.
doesn't have a smartphone, because he's traveling to the village, there must be somebody in the village
Yeah.
that has a
use
smartphone.
it to look at yourself and say, this is how I look like and how you feeling.
Oh.
And that you look at yourself because they say, long time I've not seen you. Can you see me now?
Okay,
I think God has
fine.
kept
So
us
that's
alive.
just one of those things.
Anyway, apart
Wait,
from
let me
no,
let's
before you
come
go.
to the wedding thing you just mentioned.
Yeah.
You remember very well. I think we have been together for a long time. Slater and myself have been together, for a long time.
Yeah.
Under Obasanjo's administration, a particular white man came to preach on Baba's birthday one time.
Yeah.
And he gave us a story of a woman who was proposed to be married to another man. Now went to shop, to buy her wedding gown. She was coming out with the wedding gown from that shop where she went to buy. They are planning their wedding with another man. And then this man was going to that same shop and met this lady carrying her wedding gown. Oh, and like, are you planning to get married?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm planning to get married with my fiancé. When is that? And blah, 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 blah. And he looked at her and said, but can we get married today? Another man had bought the wedding suit, the gown. And sometimes, and lo and behold, both of them left that premise and went to meet a priest and blessed them.
What do you mean?
Yes, the man said, people were like, it's not possible. And he said, at that time, that wedding has a son that's about 57 or 50 something years as at that time.
Okay.
And the people were still waiting. And I am the product of that marriage. Everybody busted into laughter. Simple. The white people who introduced the white marriage can take only 50, some will only do 20% just to witness. That is a witness. So once your family members, both families have come together, you can maybe pick from church.
Of course.
Let people just let it be a witness.
Of
So
course.
you mustn't go to do. We have seen in Nigeria. You also attended that wedding, where somebody was making his wedding plans. He wrote the list of everything he needed. 2 pairs of tie,
yes.
2 pairs of shoes,
for us,
everything
for us that have decided to support him. So we are the one to do the wedding.
Including, there was a lady that made a statement. The guy is a baker. So even the cake he's baking, he also put it as part of what
the list that he needed for support.
I remember Anita there say, well, come, this guy is not serious. So please, we mustn't do all that because we want to get married.
You see, we are talking about things that is under our control so that we won't have this blood pressure, mental health.
Yes.
Likewise, is applicable to tenants. If you're a tenant now, your rent probably must have been ending or coming to an close this year. If you're living in the town, living in a hybrid area, where your rent is about $1 million plus 200,000, 300,000, and you don't have the means. Let me tell you, my brother, I want to advise you out there, just humble yourself. Go to the suburb. cut yourself, go and get a small place. Don't look at people, I used to live in the town. All is to remanage yourself. Go to the suburb, get a place that you can pay less than 150,000 naira. With your family of 2, 3, you can manage that place. And you can now begin to plan from there and relaunch. You cannot remain in the town and say you can be able to recover when you have already lost out. Those are the kind of management we are looking at. So when you operate on a very lean budget, then you can be able to recuperate and be able to launch back whatever lifestyle you were living before. But when you still maintain a lifestyle that you are and your budget is tight, the income flow is not there, the economy is fragile, so it's affecting everybody. I don't think you can be able to make it. And that is the reason why pressure will always come on us. So we are also advising as a platform. We are saying here how we can manage even our own income to be able to benefit us so that we'll not run into deficit. Because the same thing, the country is running into deficit where you go to borrow, because you run to borrow to be able to augment the deficit that you've incurred, and that will even add more pressure on you. And at the end of the day, you can't balance up. We're only talking about balancing of budget.
Yeah, I think one of the issues is that's why we said government should step up.
Yeah,
the security. Now, the truth is that most people are afraid of their lives. Most people, why they don't want to go to those suburbs is, for attacks. Now we should be talking to Nigerians. We, as we are struggling.
No, see, before
let me land.
Because of time.
Because of our time now. You see, what you should be telling people that those who say they are armed robbers can channel their strength in doing some productive things. Because the people you want to go and rob are thinking positive. So if you will think positive, you can be like them. It's about what you feel. Nobody can be better than you if you don't admit that this person will be better than me. You understand? You might be driving Rolls Royce and you are driving your tiny light. The where that Rolls Royce will take him to, your tiny pencil light or whatever they will take him to. It's about that. Just accept your status part time. Why people are afraid of going? Somebody who have lived in high bright area, he's not afraid of the children being kidnapped or something, him being shot, and all, because we've seen incidences where some persons moved to that place and in a few days they became targets. So it is about people now changing their operations. If you're an armed robber, please just go and learn a skill. Learn a skill, learn something you can do. I think that's where.
All right. Well, then, even with that, I think because of our time, we want to still continue to, encourage our viewers. We're talking about how we can manage the EMBER month to enable us, fitting in the fragile economy that is biting every one of us. Then we've been able to highlight on so many issues that the basic thing is how to manage what you can control. What if you manage anything within your control? I think you have a stability. It is only when you look beyond and you go beyond things that you cannot control, it affects you economically and it gives you pressure that you cannot be able to, stand the pressure of the economic fragileness that we're looking at now. But then I want to advise that no matter what you do, because of the insecurity, your lifestyle is what attracts people to you. So you need to cut down whatever lifestyle you're living to enable people not look on you as a flamboyant person. Because that's what attracts. We don't have time, but I've given you a story of a neighbor who was kidnapped within my neighborhood. You live in a suburb and you're driving a car, a new brown car. How will people not come after you?
So say that they're already asking us to pack our car.
I said we'll discuss that for another time. So viewers, we want to welcome, we want to appreciate you once again for taking time to connect with us. This is Nigerian Market. Advocacy is on how we can be able to manage our economy, manage ourselves to be able to fit in with the fragile economy that is biting us. So we want to welcome you once again for taking your time to listen to us. And we encourage you to always, leave your comments and make your contributions that will also help us to be able to build this economy to a amenable stand. And if you do that, I think we'll expect that our country will become a better place and a great place to stay. So once again, we welcome you before we leave, and as you normally run our program.
Finally, before the COVID-19, just start. Passenger said, if you can't buy fiber alive, go and take fresh orange, squeeze it and drink. And I love that fresh orange. So if that's how to manage. Don't leave the person who is drinking 5 hours. Also them are drinking it on borrow.
After
So
all.
they will be not sleeping, they will not be sleeping. All right. So just please orange and take. All right. And then orange will help to boost your immunity.
Of course, orange and
The
Five Alive is
vitamin
no
C
difference.
and all that. So
Yes.
please, COVID-19 is still around the corner. Yesterday, we had one of the meetings, you know, and our guy was saying, this COVID, people are not taking it serious. He didn't want to mention the people. He said he just got to know couples who are just tested positive. So it means that we're saying we have not seen. Some people who are around us may be doing maybe carriers. Or please let us be careful what we do, please. Keep to those simple protocol. For me, it's that simple protocol that's important. I want to wash my hands regularly with soap and then take alcohol-based sanitizers. And then when I'm in the public place, please, I use my face mask. All right. And then sometimes keep distance. That's what it is. So please, when we do that, I think we'll.
All right, you're on point, and that is it. I believe our viewers have listened. So once again, we want to thank you for joining us this Thursday, and we wish that we'll have a robust meeting next Tuesday by the grace of God. So we'll leave. Bye-bye for today. And before we leave, we'll say bye,
Nigeria to grow Nigeria.